Mr. Khan, you talked about creating safe spaces for the men so that they can also have these discussions or share their problems. Which other ways can men become allies to the movement of gender equality, apart from them having discussions to talk? In which other ways can they become allies to gender equality?
I think there's many ways to become allies in this movement, but I would say something simple could be that if you're having conversations with your fellow men, and they're saying something that may be sexist or misogynistic, call them out, right? That is very important because oftentimes what men say in private to other men is different from what they would say in public. So those conversations need to be stopped at that, those toxic conversations need to be stopped. Other ways they can become allies is encouraging women in their life to pursue their dreams and shoot for the stars, because oftentimes women are limited in the opportunities they're afforded, but also sometimes they're not even, they don't even have the capability to stand for themselves. So oftentimes you being a man can encourage a woman to stand up for herself and stand up for her rights, and also partake in leadership movements. If there's any civil movements happening around gender equality, whether it's like a women's march or if it's engaging in female candidates' political party or political representation, you're encouraging that conversation to go on. I think other ways they can do that is also just doing more research themselves about what gender equality is, and always having those thoughts and conversations and being critical of the gender roles that we have set in our society, because ultimately those gender roles are not going to they're not going to be able, they're going to have to break sometimes, and it will be through the help of men as well.
Okay. So how do you envision the next generation in case we do achieve gender equality? How do you see the next generation where gender equality has been achieved? How do you see, how will it be?
What do we see if gender equality is achieved? Well, the very stereotypical answer would be like a female president or prime minister, right? But I think we have still a long way to go there. And even with a female prime minister, you still have problems of like, why are women the only one doing housework? Why are women doing, we have a female prime minister in Tanzania right now, and it's not like that's society. You had a female prime minister in Uganda as well. And but that still doesn't mean that it's solved. Ultimately, what it would look like is women being at least 50% of the workforce, and that they're paid equally as men, right? We have to start at economic empowerment, and then through economic empowerment, we can empower women to speak up for themselves. They have the financial resources to sustain themselves, because once we are looking at the economic empowerment, we're also looking at financial freedom. Women will not be relying on men to be financially responsible for them. Oftentimes, if a man is being abusive to a woman, they feel like they still have to stick with that relationship because they don't have the financial freedom to go live by themselves. So ultimately, we have to start at economic empowerment and making sure that women have financial opportunities to be financially independent from men.
Okay, so Mr. Lukongwa, how do you envision the next generation where men also come and speak out their issues? Like, how do you envision that time when it comes of a man will come out and say, my wife has been beating me every day, and like freely he comes and speaks about it? How do you envision that?
It will not be easy. It will not be an easy journey to move, but at least the future is positive. Maybe something small about the gender equality and the step we are right now. I think we are doing more of the empowerment as required by women empowerment and all that. But we should also focus more on sustainability of our initiatives, because we may do the empowerment and all that, but at the end of probably it could be a project, it could be a program. After the program, what has happened? What will transpire after maybe 5 years or after 10 years? So we should also incorporate the aspect of sustainability for the empowerment procedures that we are making around women empowerment. But for males, I feel like it is a hard nut to crack. However, it will be a free society, and I have a feeling that everyone will be free, because right now if you talk about a man coming up to speak, it's like someone will be like, why are you speaking? They will be considered to be maybe weak, but it starts with a baby step, and we shall be there, and it will become normal. It has to become normal for us to speak, because we also have issues. And us expressing our issues, sharing with different people around us, it will make us relieved and also progress and be better people, even live and have better families, in life. There is a statement I wanted to add on when you asked what are some of the benefits around women empowerment. Personally, maybe in the communities that we serve under Public Health Ambassadors Uganda, I think we've witnessed a lot of achievements around women empowerment, and we have a lot of innovations that we've tried out as far, and they have worked, but they're initiated by women. For example, we have a Be-Free Cup. Be-Free Cup, it helps to help manage menstruation, but the innovation is spearheaded by a woman. She's called Lisa, But it is helping people in refugee camps. It is helping people even here in Kampala. We have, we have people in Kampala here who are heading very huge institutions that are using those cups, not because they cannot afford pads, but they're using the cup because it is a sustainable product and they're benefiting. And in that way, we are benefiting. We are serving the community, and the communities are also what? Benefiting. Of course, there are very many other advantages. For example, if the issue of shared roles, if I cannot afford to buy my sofa, my wife can afford to do that for me, then it means that I'm going to save this money, maybe to support the children at home, maybe to construct our house, So the shared roles can help you to even develop. And I want to tell the men out there and the women that if we have these shared roles, they will help us develop even further. It's just like setting up associations of investment. You have an investment association, and you collect your lump sum of money and decide on when to spend it. So you, instead of exploiting me as a man to cater for all the bills at home because I'm a man, head of the family, just support me here and I also support you there, such that we do what? We have, even me, instead of just chilling out to say that you're supposed to carry the baby, to cook food. I can cook food for you as you're carrying the baby. You can wash utensils as you carry the baby, We share these roles together for the betterment of our families and the society we live in.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lukongwa. Mr. Mgira, earlier you talked about the Succession Act. So which other legal frameworks are in place that are in support of gender equality? You talked about Succession Act, you talked about affirmative action. Which other legal frameworks are in place that are in support?
Now, you see, our country or the world is entailed, and the world, in regard to the law, support gender equality and equity as well. For example, for us in our country, Uganda, we have the Constitution of the Republic, our Constitution, our mother legal tool. It talks about an Article 21. Article 21 talks about equality and freedom of from discrimination. And if I read it verbatim, it says that all persons are equal before and under the law in all spheres of political, economic, social, cultural life, and in every other respect, and shall enjoy equal protection of the law. So that is equality and equity. We have the Domestic Violence Act. It talks about the punishments. It's our penal code in regard to the violation of what? Gender equality. That if at all a man or someone is found of violating gender equality, there are penalties: 2 years in jail, paying 48 currency points. We have the Gender Equality Act. We have so many tools, and even in our political sphere, I talked about affirmative action. We have women representation, and the direct representation supposed to be shared by both male and female. But for empowerment, we have for empowerment and affirmative action, we have women-female representation. In our selection of all positions, we have where they are told that women, the 1/3 of a woman, for example, in our division executive committee, all committees of the executive in the country Uganda, 1 person amongst the 3 has to be a female. But my other consideration should be, because the law stipulates each and everything, but implementation has to be done by us. So awareness, as I have repeated it twice, has to be pushed furthermore, whereby, because the law might say, for example, that I talked about these projects by our international donors, that there should be female 40%. But what roles are these females going to be doing in that project? Not just waving and controlling traffic. That is so minor that can be done by what? So we should dig further as far as these laws are talking about gender equality, and we provide equal roles to all genders and see protection of all genders.
Okay. You've had it right clear from Mr. Mugera. It is stipulated in the Constitution of Uganda that Chapter 21, you say.
21, Article 21.
Article 21. So whoever hasn't read, you can go check it out. You can Google and see, ask Google what Chapter 21 of the Ugandan Constitution says, and you see it for yourself. Thank you so much, my dearest panelists, for this in-depth discussion about gender equality. But before we close, I know we've discussed the different benefits different benefits of gender equality. You've talked about the innovations that women have come up with. So what other things do you see gender equality is going to bring about? Other positive things that we've not aired out? So I think we should go around one time. We discussed the positive effects we anticipate of gender equality. Start from Mr. Khan.
One of the more positive aspects of gender equality could be men learning how to cook. You know?
Men are good cooks by now.
Exactly. So that is something, I mean, skills like cooking and cleaning are essential skills to survive, right? If a man moves out on his own and he doesn't know how to do basic things like cook and clean, then how is he expected to survive? So very minor, but very important.
Thank you, Mr. Khan.
Yeah, me personally, I just want to arrest fears of men. I want to arrest their fears on issues of gender equity and equality. There has to be fairness in the world. There has to be fairness. No one deserves to be in a bad life. No one deserves to live poorly. So we as gatekeepers should just continue addressing the push factors and creating more awareness. Then we shall have a very peaceful environment. There will be shared responsibility in all aspects for our communities.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mugera. Mr. Lukongwa.
Yeah, thank you very much. So for me, I want to say that we, the implementing partners, all those implementing partners around gender issues or gender perspective, should always not only focus on females, but also do a little bit of male involvement. Right now, you know, the panel is of, you know, of men, of course, besides our host, but it's like we are now getting involved into this, and us speaking about it, we hope those other men really understand that, you know, you shouldn't die. So we should focus more on sensitization through even the males themselves, because they are going to talk to their peers. You know, you as a woman talking about maybe equality for women, equality for women, equality for women, they may not take it the same way they would take it from me as a man, talking to them that, you know, we need to improve on this and this, such that we have a level ground for both males and females in our communities, because it is really very intense deep down there in the communities, especially the remote areas. The issues are very many there. If you get chance to interact with people in the community deep down there, you will really understand that there is a lot for us to do, but good enough we are on the right path.
On the right path. Thank you so much. That's all from my panelists. I want to thank them so much for sharing their insights on gender equality. That's all from us. Peace out.